This week, I learned about starting a bamboo business, how to manufacture bamboo products, which one give the best profit, how much they cost, and I'm sharing it here with you.
All right, welcome to the explainer. Okay, I want you to forget everything you think you know about bamboo. Seriously. Today, we're not talking about some plant in a garden. We're talking about the raw material for a massive, sustainable industrial revolution. This is the green gold rush, and in this explainer, we're basically handing you the blueprint to get in on the ground floor. So, how big of an opportunity are we talking about here? Well, get ready for this number. By 2035, the global bamboo products market is projected to be worth a mind-blowing $142.27 billion. I mean, that's not some niche little market. We're talking about a tectonic shift in the global economy. And look, this isn't some flash-in-the-pan trend. It's a fundamental change in how our economy works. As we all try to move away from plastics and other materials that are terrible for the environment, this huge vacuum gets created. For someone like you, a visionary entrepreneur, this isn't just an opportunity. It's a strategic entry point into the future of how we make and sell things. So, to get you there, we've got a 5-part roadmap. First, we'll size up the opportunity. Then, we're going to go inside the factory and really understand the industrial life cycle. From there, we'll break down the most profitable products, give you a step-by-step startup blueprint, and finally, we'll take a look at what the future holds. Let's dive in. Okay, let's get into it. To really get a handle on the potential here, we first need to understand why. Why is bamboo suddenly at the center of this huge industrial revolution? What are the forces that are driving all of this incredible growth? You know, the numbers here, they tell a really powerful story. As you can see, the market is already valued at over $82 billion right now. But what's really critical is the trajectory. It's set to nearly double in just 1 decade. That's a compounded annual growth rate of 5 to 10%. I mean, to put that in perspective, that is way faster growth than many traditional materials markets. This is aggressive, and it's sustained. So, why bamboo? Well, there are 4 key drivers. First up, you've got the huge global pivot away from petroleum plastics, which creates this massive gap that bamboo is perfectly positioned to fill. Second, and this is wild, its growth cycle is just insanely fast. It's ready for industrial use in just 4 to 6 years. Compare that to decades for hardwoods. Third, it's a superstar at carbon sequestration, meaning it pulls more CO2 out of the atmosphere. And finally, you've got this immense demand and manufacturing potential in Asia-Pacific hubs, creating a perfect storm for new businesses. All right, let's step inside the factory. How does a raw plant become a high-performance material that's ready for global export? It's really important to get this. This isn't about little artisanal crafts. We're talking about industrial precision, all standardized to meet the super strict demands of global markets. So this journey from the field to a finished product, or from culm to consumer, it follows 6 key stages. And culm, by the way, that's just the fancy word for a bamboo stalk. It all starts with harvesting and cleaning. Then those raw culms are split into perfectly uniform strips. After that comes a super important treatment phase, followed by precision drying. Finally, those strips are formed into products and given a final finish. Every single one of these steps is engineered for quality and consistency. Okay, what's so cool about this slide is how it maps out the whole industrial flow. Just take a look. At the top, you've got the preparation phase. This is where you take that raw, natural culm and break it down into standardized, workable strips. These are the building blocks. In the middle is the treatment phase. This is where the science kicks in. You're removing natural vulnerabilities, stabilizing the material so it lasts. And at the bottom, the assembly phase, where heat and incredible pressure forge those strips into a final high-density product. This is the moment bamboo stops being just a plant and becomes a legit engineered material. Okay, let's really zero in on 2 steps here that are absolutely critical. These are the steps that separate the high-quality global exporters from the low-tier producers. First is the treatment. The bamboo strips are boiled in a solution, like boric acid. This isn't just for cleaning. It scientifically pulls out the starches and sugars that bugs love, making the product safe for export. Second is drying. The strips are kiln-dried to a precise moisture content of 8 to 12%. And that number? It's totally non-negotiable. It makes sure the bamboo stays stable through all the humidity changes during international shipping, preventing the warping and cracking that could ruin a whole container of your product. And this right here, is the whole point of all that processing. The Janka hardness test measures how well a material resists denting. Well, industrial bamboo is engineered to handle over 1,000 pounds per square inch of pressure. To give you some context, that makes it denser and more durable than a lot of traditional hardwoods like oak or maple. Think about that. The process literally turns a flexible grass into something tougher than oak. Okay, now here's a real pro tip, a strategist edge. What do you do with all the sawdust, the offcuts, and the other waste from production? You see, a smart manufacturer doesn't see waste at all. They see a whole other product. This is called waste valorization. All those scraps are carbonized to create high-demand bamboo charcoal, turning what would have been a cost to get rid of it into a brand new high-margin revenue stream. Absolutely nothing is wasted. So, you've got the production process down. Awesome. Now comes maybe the biggest decision you'll make. What should you actually build? Let's break down the top product categories based on 3 key things: how easy they are to get started, their potential sales volume, and of course, their profitability. I mean, the possibilities are just about endless, from flooring and furniture to chopsticks and toothbrushes. But for a startup, focus is everything. The real question isn't what can I make, it's what should I make to get profitable fast. So, first up, let's talk about the efficiency index. Basically, these are the products with the lowest barrier to entry. We're giving them an ease score of 1, which means you only need basic manual or semi-automated tools. At the top of the list, cutting boards and toothbrushes. Cutting boards have a fantastic revenue-to-effort ratio, and toothbrushes are a high-volume play with recurring revenue. These are your high-efficiency starters. Now, what's the catch? A low barrier to entry also means more competition, so your branding and quality have to be top-notch. Okay, now let's shift gears and look at where the big money is. These are the global powerhouses. Chopsticks and skewers are the undisputed kings of volume. Tableware is the darling of retail, especially with all the plastic bans. And flooring is the industrial pillar of the whole industry. Now, to compete here, you're not just making a product, you're building a hyper-efficient production line. This is a game of pure scale and automation. Okay, so you've got the stuff that's easy to make, and you've got the stuff that sells like crazy. The magic, the real sweet spot, is right where those 2 things overlap. These 5 products perfectly balance ease of production, high demand, and strong profitability. They are your best bet for hitting break-even in just 7 months. Cutting boards are your main revenue driver. Toothbrushes are your recurring cash flow engine. Pressed tableware is your play for automation. Storage boxes tap into that high-margin, sustainable luxury market. And charcoal bags, with their unbelievable 81% profit margin, turn your waste into pure profit. Let's just double-click on those top 2 for a second, because these 2, they are the perfect 1-2 punch for a new business. The cutting board is your hero product. It's a premium, high-ticket item that drives a lot of revenue with each sale. The toothbrush, on the other hand, is your recurring sales engine. It has a lower price point, sure, but people need to buy it again and again, which creates predictable, steady cash flow. Building your business around these 2 pillars is one of the smartest ways to enter this market. All right. We've got the strategy, we know the process, we've even picked our hero products. Now let's get down to brass tacks and turn this into a real, actionable plan for launching your own bamboo venture. So here it is, your 6-step blueprint to take this from just an idea to a real-life launch. Step 1, research and planning. Do your homework. Step 2, legal and sourcing. Get your permits, and this is critical. Lock in your supply of raw bamboo. Step 3, facility and equipment. Set up your workshop. Step 4, training and certification. Get your team's skills up to par and get certified for export. Step 5, marketing and sales. And finally, Step 6, scale and risk management. All right, the big question, what's this going to cost? Well, the initial investment can range from as low as $5,000 for a small manual workshop focusing on something like cutting boards, all the way up to around $110,000 for a semi-automated facility. The great thing about this range is that it makes the whole thing really accessible, whether you're starting small or you're aiming for rapid growth right from day one. Okay, but what if you want to go big, like land those massive B2B contracts? Well, then you'll need to invest in a semi-automated line. As you can see, it involves a series of specialized machines. Think of it like an assembly line. It starts with a heavy-duty splitter that just powers through the big culms. From there, a knot remover and a width sizer make sure every strip is perfectly uniform. That's key for quality. Then, a rounding machine and a polishing tumbler give the product its smooth, premium finish. Finally, an automatic cutter ensures every piece is identical, down to the millimeter. This is the equipment that takes you from making hundreds of units to thousands, and that's the key to real scale and profit. And with this blueprint, you've got a crystal clear financial target to shoot for. By focusing on those sweet spot products, managing your costs, and executing the plan, the goal is to hit break even within just 7 months. I mean, that points to a super fast return on your investment, which, let's be honest, is pretty rare for any manufacturing business. Wow, okay, we have covered a ton of ground here, from the global market drivers to the specific machines you need on your factory floor. So what's the one big thing, the key takeaway you should walk away with? It comes down to this one number, 88%. By focusing on the right sweet spot products, operating in a key region like the Asia Pacific, and smartly using strategies like waste valorization, it is possible to achieve gross margins this high. This proves that you don't have to choose between being sustainable and being profitable. In this green gold rush, sustainability and profitability, they are two sides of the same coin. Look, the shift to a global bioeconomy isn't coming. It's happening right now, and bamboo is one of its core pillars. This isn't just a pile of raw material. This is the foundation for a $142 billion industry. The opportunity is clear, the blueprint is right here. The only question left is, what will you build?
Did you learn something new and exciting? Share it here. I want to know about it too.